All right, welcome everyone to today's presentation. This is Kurt Nadervelt, the CEO of Rainstar Capital Group. Today we're continuing our question of the day series, and excited to have on the line with us Joel Wilsford. Joel is our managing director down in the Atlanta, Georgia market. And welcome today, Joel. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, Kurt. Glad to be on board here.
Excellent. So today we're going to be discussing something that I know all borrowers, when they come to Rainstar Capital Group, something they all care about, right? Which is, obviously getting financing. And normally folks want to get their financing, not 30 days, not 60 days, not 6 months from now. They typically want it yesterday, right, Joel? So, today.
I would say that's the number one question. How fast can you get it?
Yeah, that's right. So today we're going to give some tips and strategies on, how to speed up the process of, securing alternative financing. So Joel, excited to hear what you have to say on this.
Okay. Well, I would start up by saying the first thing that a client needs to understand is everything is known. So if you have skeletons in the closet, if you had dings on your credit, if you've had a bankruptcy of some kind, or if you've had other issues, it's better to tell us this up front so we can craft the narrative and put the best light possible on it for when we submit it to the lenders that we're going to submit to. I got a great story. I had a client with a major acquisition fee or major funding request. We went through our due diligence. We put the client's package together and then went to the lender, and the lender found out that the client had a major ding on him at the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, for investor fraud. He knew he had it, and he just didn't disclose it. We didn't find that out. So the deal fell apart at the last minute, and it fell apart, and he needed the money for his business. It fell apart because he didn't disclose on the front end. Had he disclosed on the front end, we would have been able to perhaps help mitigate that negative. So it's important. I know we don't like to talk about the bad things that happen in our lives, but very often by not talking about them, we've hurt ourselves in the lending process. So if you want to speed the process up, the first thing to do is to just make sure you identify for us and explain what happened. There's not going to be any judgments about it. It's all about how can we mitigate this circumstance to get the best light possible. The second aspect of that is completing the package. I know we're all busy. Everybody's doing 4 or 5 jobs now. When I first started in the business, I had a full-time secretary. She did all my paperwork for me. Then along came the personal computer. Now I have to do my own paperwork. So I'm busy too. The best way to speed the process up is to make sure that you get everything we ask for, get it complete, and get it to us as quickly as possible. Because what happens typically is you will give me a third of what it is. We may submit that. Well, the credit guy will look at it, say a third's missing. He'll set that transaction off to the side and go on to one that's complete. When we finally complete this, he may get it back into the pile, but it's at the bottom of the pile. So if you want to speed your financing up, complete the package. Everything we've asked for is asked for a reason. So please put that package together. If you need help doing that, we will help do that. We'll walk your secretary through it if you need her, or your CFO, whoever. And the final thing that I would say about speeding up the process is it comes from an educational perspective. We want you to understand that there's an expectation of a certain return on our various programs, both by the lenders and should be by our clients also. So we do have some bank financing, which is 3 to 6% normal bank financing for transactions that fit that box. There's other boxes that the client's going to see, some particularly with non-bank fintech products, that's going to be 6+% in terms of the overall rates that are going to be asked. So really the big question that you as an owner of a business, as one looking for financing, have to ask yourself is, have you run your financial model? Do you understand your cash flow? And can you service, do the debt service and handle the debt service for a loan with those kinds of rates? It's nothing worse than to get an approval and then see that you can't handle the service of that debt, and therefore you have to walk away from it. It's a bad thing. So, we will sit down with you. We want you to understand the costs. We'll be upfront about that. We want you to also understand the pros and cons of what the loans mean to you. All loans come with positives and negatives, and we'll deal with that because we believe an educated client is someone who can make smart business decisions and become successful and returns to us for more business, and that's what we want. So speeding up the process, just in conclusion, speeding up the process. Tell us about the skeletons. We'll figure it out. Make sure it's a full, complete package so that we don't have it laying on the bottom of the pile, but it's at the top. And then finally have the proper expectation, both of time and of rate. And that's really how it's done, Kurt. If you do those things, it'll move through quickly and smoothly.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you did a fantastic job of, kind of walking us through the different nuances of what happens, throughout that process. And yeah, great job on explaining that. So for anyone that is looking to secure alternative financing, highly recommend that you do. Feel free to reach out to Joel's emails on there and his landing pages as well. Joel does a really great job with our clients. And thank you, Joel, for walking us through this this topic. Have a great day.
You too. Take care.